Here we go.
Hey! I think we're live.
We are live. Hello.
Hey, everybody! And welcome to the Mystic Crystal Watch Party with everyone. We had a few tech issues with Danny getting on, but he's going to keep trying, so Danny might pop in at some point. He might appear. But yeah, we've got Brian here. Hey, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
I'm so excited to be here and first of all, see all of you. I think I've only seen a small handful of you, like your actual faces before. So it's just lovely to see all of you, what everybody looks like and where everybody is. And even more so to put out into this world this, look, I'm going to be humble, fucking amazing. We all made together. So I'm excited to be here and be here with all of you.
Oh, heck yeah. It's amazing to have you here. And everyone we could grab from the crew as well. We don't have the entire crew here, but we have as many people as could make it. So I think what might be cool is if we just go around and say like who we are and what we did. I don't know if you want to start from Brian and go round, which would mean you would be first, Bri.
Sure. Yeah, sure. My name is Brian Wecht. I'm Ninja Brian in the band Ninja Sex Party. And I wrote the song with Danny and our producer, Jim Roach, and then performed it with Danny, Jim Roach, and the band we all know and love, TWRP.
Amazing.
So, yeah. Yep. Also, I'm in the video. I should say that too. I act in the video as well.
Oh, that was you.
That was me. I know. I'm a master of disguise. But
couldn't tell with the mask.
No.
Okay, ready for me
All right.
next?
Yeah,
next?
go for it.
Okay, cool. I can't tell if my order is the same as like the stream's order. Okay, I've started talking now. So, I'm Bri, or Bryony, and I was the lead cleanup artist on the music video. So making sure everything looked extra juicy and great. But yeah, so the animators though did all the really heavy lifting. So like, can't wait for you to see it! Yay!
Kevin.
Hello.
Hello.
I was a doodle man. I did a lot of animation with my foreign brother Habbo. We are practically the same person, and we had a lot of fun drawing horses and crowds.
Can I ask also, when we're going around, can people just say as broad as they want to be what part of the world they're calling in from? Because I think that's a cool part of this is how international and widespread this team is. I'm in LA.
That's a good one. Okay, I'm in Wales in the UK.
I'm in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Bert, do you want to
Should
take
I
it
take
away?
it from here?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, ahead.
Hello, my name is Beat, or Virgil. I'm coming from Ireland, and I was an animator, very briefly, but animate. And yeah, it's super nice to be here. It's really exciting, so yeah.
I'm Patrick. I'm in Austin, Texas, and I kind of, I guess, producer or project manager, came in, made sure things were organized, and I think I did a couple of effect shots, things like that. But yeah.
I'm India. Hello. I had the amazing pleasure to get to direct this and try and wrangle my crew of artists into making it. It's such a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. You all absolutely knocked it out of the park. Such a cool experience. Yeah, it's me. It is. Go, Mark. Go.
Yeah, Mark Henry. I drew some of the background there. It's not all of them. Yeah.
Where are you?
Oh, also I'm in Ireland.
I forgot to say, I'm also in
Kilkenny
Ireland. Hey.
Yeah.
There's not a murderer behind Mark. If it does look like it, it's just, I think, a code.
That's so spooky.
I'm Renee
Maybe one day.
Violet. I worked on some of the background paintings with Michael Doig. Worked very closely with him. and I put together a lot of the worlds and the trees and the castles and the rocks. I'm also from Canada.
Nice.
Hi everyone, my name's Gemma. I was one of the 2D animators and I'm in the UK.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, panic. Hey guys. I'm Hardik or Habo, and I'm from India. I did some animation with Kevin and other amazing people. And I'm never animating horses again.
Wanna bet, Habbo?
Michael, take us away.
Hello, my name is Michael Doig. I'm the color designer / post-production compositor on Mr. Crystal. I'm also the one running the stream and with the tech and the difficulties, so address all your complaints to me. I originally hail from Scotland, but I'm living in Ireland with India.
I can reach over and poke him if I wanna.
Ouch.
Beautiful.
And that's a good portion of the Knights crew who worked on the animated segments of this video.
I also want to shout out some of the live action people real quick. I don't want to go through crazy
please do.
Introductions, but I do want to mention Sean Barrett, who directed the video and also edited it with Kelly Lyon. Who else should I mention from the live action stuff? And then we had a whole crew involved in it, but those are the two that we worked with the most, are Sean and Kelly.
They did such an incredible job.
Yeah. So is this the moment? This feels like it might be the moment, huh?
It might be the moment.
Do you all want to see a really cool video?
People are saying no. They don't want to see it. Chat just says nope, not interested.
No, do you think
it's like, all right, bye.
Think we should tease them a little bit more?
Yeah.
So here, what I'm gonna do, this is an NSP first. Actually, it's a first for me too, personally. Never made a video public live before. So what I'm doing, I have the back end of the NSP channel in front of me right now. I am about to click public. No, not delete. Public. Okay, yeah. Public on this video. So are we all ready?
As ready as we'll ever be, I guess.
Yes. Chat. Are you ready? All right, I got it.
And look who else is ready.
Wait. Oh, I think we have something happening here.
Hi.
Hey!
There he is.
Whoa!
Hey. Oh my god, it's timing.
Perfect.
Complete the puzzle, the man from Jersey.
The chat just erupted and they said, "No, wait for Danny." And at that moment,
that's
you
so
appeared.
sweet.
Oh my god.
I was literally just about to make it go live. Like literally just before you logged on, 1 second, and boom.
I'm honored.
It was like chat summoned you.
Let's do it. Yeah, this is exciting. So thanks for joining us, everyone, and thank you to all the people, especially that you've already met on this chat, because they're all amazing and they did an incredible job, and we're lucky to know them.
Absolutely. All right. So I have selected. I'm going to really draw this out. I'm in the back end of the Ninja Sex Party channel. I have selected the option public on this video. I'm making sure that it's the correct video. Yes, the Mr. Crystal. I've selected the option public. And here we go. I'm about to click publish. In 3, 2, 1. Half.
Are you killing me, Brian?
Public. It is set to public. All right, this video is out into the world. This is a big moment. Let's check that it's showing up on the channel. Can you guys see it?
We're refreshing.
Sometimes it takes a second. It should be there.
People in
I
chat
see it
are
on my
Refreshing this page right now.
2 views.
Oh,
Thank
some
you.
people have seen it.
It's there. All right, we got it. It's out. This video is out, everybody.
Oh
Do you
my
understand
gosh.
what a big moment? You understand? What am I talking about? You understand what a big moment this is? This is amazing. Oh. All right. So what's the plan now? We're gonna, you guys are gonna play it on your end, and we're all gonna kind of watch it through together.
So yeah, the idea is we'll play a little snippet, like the screen of it at the bottom of our screens, and then everyone else at home can watch it on your YouTube channel, and then we will react together as we're watching it.
So I'm thinking
Sound
we'll count everyone in, so that we can all
Yeah.
kind of try and sync up as best we can. Might be a little fudgy, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Figure
Alright,
it out.
Do it.
I'm gonna link the video to everyone. Oh, cool. Our mod team is totally on it. Thank you.
Thank you, mod team. You're amazing.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Who are your mods today?
Our mods today, I should shout them out, are Kurzik, who's a fantastic animator in their own right. They're amazing. We've got Hinka Pinkart, and I think we've got Palbro Fella, who are also amazing friends. So thank you so much for your time.
So our favorite folks from the Pig Bar.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to switch us over to this screen, which has the first frame of the video there. You guys count me in, and I will play it. It should be silent. I don't know. Are you okay with us playing the audio, or would you rather we didn't play the audio on stream?
You're
If people are
asking
going to
chat,
be listening to it on their end,
On
it's
their
probably
end,
better
yeah.
to let people do the audio on their end.
Yes, that makes complete sense. Okay, it should be silent.
I gotta get up on my end too.
Yep. have
Someone
you-
just rickrolled me. Who in chat rickrolled me? How incredible!
I'll
Saw a
send
couple
you the-
people posting it.
You got me.
And is everybody ready?
Amazing. Okay.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Oh yes.
2,
Yes.
1, play.
Woohoo!
Oh, that show.
There he is.
Yeah.
It's Lloyd from Epic Rap Battles in the middle of that.
Fabulous.
Oh gosh, Renee saw him and immediately got him and was like, is that Lloyd?
Yeah, we were working it out. Like, oh my god, it's him.
And there he goes.
The stash.
I love that.
So powerful.
Yeah.
I love the lighting in the castle so much.
Yeah, that was a fun set.
There they are.
that a mystic space portal behind you? Oh shit!
This is my favorite shot of the whole video.
Beautiful.
Did Sean know he was being filmed at this time?
I'm no. No, he just showed up to eat.
Yeah, we just gave him sandwiches and filmed him in secret.
That shot gets me every time.
Bizarrely.
Incredible.
Thank you. I'm a natural.
Actually, Your Majesty, you just sucked us through 26 dimensions of space and time, and I've got to be completely honest with you. My arms are broken, and I don't know why my chest is smoking. I will hear you with my
I like the smoke there too.
It's a good touch.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got the Danakin guest appearance too
Yep.
in this
Yep.
video.
You had to. You have to.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
The lighting in this shot is so good.
That was Gemma, wasn't it?
Gemma's good at villain shots, yeah.
I love this crowd
Fun.
here.
That was all Habbo.
So many crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was Havo as well, the rotating arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love. It's one of my favorite things in the video.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Brian, do you think you could please warn me before you're about to light our
I really like Danny's facial
Can you
expressions
show?
there. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's the agonizing scream.
Animating horses.
For those asking, a couple of people asking in chat, making Danny glitter was all Mike and with the
Yeah.
compositing.
Oh, yeah.
That was
We
essential.
were
Beautiful
amazed
job, by
when
the
we
way.
saw that.
There was a whole pass for that. Like, whole column in the spreadsheet. Glitter down.
There we go. Here we are. Bam.
Kevin, I love that dragon so much.
Yeah. Me too.
You too.
I know, it's weird.
Oh, money shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great shot. Yeah.
Love the acting there.
Yeah. The acting is that is. I love it. It's very fun. Oh, the bells.
Oh,
are
the
good.
lighting change is so good.
That bell.
Don't talk to me about that
2D,
bell.
that 2D bell.
I love this quiet moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing in the video is coming up pretty soon. Little crab guy. Here we are.
There he goes.
2 seconds, but boy.
There he is again.
He killed it.
I love that crab.
Yeah.
Best character, crab.
100%.
Man, I love this part so much.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that's cool.
have no clue how you guys filmed this, but it's incredible.
Neither do we.
You just woke up and it was done.
I can talk about it a little bit, but yeah, it looks super cool.
Oh.
I love his face. He's just like, what?
Brian's expression. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in my ideal version of this song, this beating goes on for 20 minutes.
Brian, she's so beautiful. Roll me to her.
I love that gag.
Yes,
Crystals.
Yeah, that's.
I like my arms in this shot too. Flying through the
Kevin giving you that ninja run.
Ninja running.
I know, it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So much crowd.
That transition is very cool. I really like that into the book.
Also, Renee nailed it with that art.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
The portal back home is
There he is again. We were lucky to catch him while he was napping.
I love that it's like a magic version of leaving your webcam on.
Yeah.
Oh, the portal's on.
if you should ever need our help again. We walked away, but stopped and turned before we took our last step. Brian killed a guy real quick.
Of course.
Down he goes.
We all have our battles to fight, and a crystal cage to break through in our lives. But when hope is gone,
No reaction. We're back.
you rock the boat.
It's really good, Brian.
Oh, my heart.
Yay!
Yay, we got some quick
Wahoo!
credits.
Nice work.
Hey!
You know, these wonderful people that did this.
Yeah.
I love that the end logo as well. It's so pretty.
That was
Yeah.
Renee again.
I did that.
Great.
I did that. Point at screen.
I have an image in my head that like of Dan's closet, and it's just full of all the different types of blue jumpsuits you have, and then like a small area for like casual clothes.
That's, I mean, 95.5% breakdown. It's fantastic.
Oh, wow. It's out, everybody. That's it.
Oh man, you guys are the best. The best.
Nothing's ever
Oh,
going to keep
It fulfilled a lot of dreams of like doing Dragon Slayer style animation, getting a little bit like Road to El Dorado in there.
Oh yeah. No,
Well, I was gonna
total,
say
like,
when someone brought up the sparkling of the suit, like that's totally like Daphne from Dragon's Lair.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
Dan,
the first thing I thought when I saw it was like, oh, they made me a pretty princess. So
Dan,
I'm really excited.
India literally like took me aside, like across. She was like, Michael, and she points at Daphne from the dragon's lair thing. It was like, I want that. We need that for Dan.
Yeah.
yeah.
Need them sparkles.
No,
You did it.
It's important.
Yeah, the dragons. I mean, if I could tell you how many quarters I threw into Dragon's Lair at a Chuck E. Cheese in 1985, oh, that in Space Ace, it's like a dream come true to be in, to have this that we all made in that style. I love it so much.
Yeah, is anyone else slightly emotional?
Slightly.
Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna cry, but I've definitely got like the nose tingle, because I mean, it really from the moment Brian and I started writing that song, which was 2018. It's been 3 years to get to this point, and we never imagined that so many awesome, talented people would like join us in creating it, and it's like we all got together and birthed a hilarious 12-minute baby. I wish I thought of any other way to say
Beautiful.
that. You know what I mean?
yeah. So even the writing was. I mean, how many days did we take? It was 4 days, right? Like not in a row, but like 4 sessions with Roach, right? Is that right? More?
To write the song? I don't know. Because there was a lot of. There was definitely time between the sessions because the song we went down a lot of paths with the song that did not end up happening. Like,
and I remember you came over here to my place for a little bit to try to write what became the kind of synthy part, but we didn't
use it. We didn't use what we wrote.
We didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another part where like for a week when we were trying to make this country western thing happen in the middle, and then we were like, this sucks, and then we stopped. And it definitely worked out though, because when Jim and Brian came up with like the initial riff at the beginning, they were like, what if we tried to combine Def Leppard and Rush? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So it was just like that was the moment where I thought this might be something really special, and lo and behold, here we are. 2 years later. So
do you remember,
thank you
Danny,
all for making our dreams come true.
Yeah, seriously. I remember during writing the song, at one point you were, I don't know if you were warming up or working on lyrics in that room next to the main studio room at Jim's place, and Jim and I were like coming up for a section for the next part of the song, and we came up with something that sounded like a kind of like a Mexican ballad, like that Ween song Buenos Tardes Amigo, and we were like, Danny's gonna hate this. We know this doesn't really work, and there were a bunch of things like that where one of the three of us was like, well, that's cool, like as a different thing, but not for this song. And it was really the different roads were in, because there was stuff that each of us came up with where one or more of the three of us was like, no, which always happens.
I don't know if it's the same for animating. I feel like maybe animating is more like kind of structured and planned out, but for us, we'll just go down paths and then like a day later be like, let's erase all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to do that in animation.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And honestly,
it didn't happen. You just don't want
it. For the band, the biggest challenge is not not to sound like an asshole, but the challenge is not writing good music. It's writing good music that works for NSP, right? Mm-hmm. And the most common thing that we all have for each other is like, well, we like that, but that doesn't feel like this band. That feels like a different thing, like the Mexican thing I was just talking about. Like that was cool, but it's not like a Ninja Sex Party song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Was there anything that you guys wished that you could have got into the final song that had to be left out for one reason or another?
No. I would say yes for a lot of songs that we do, but not this one. And I mean, if you can't get all your ideas out in 12 minutes, then something's up.
Yeah, just make it a longer song in a way.
Yeah.
Just put more stuff.
I feel like when we first started in on it, tell me if this is your memory, Dan. I feel like we were like, well, this is going to be 20 minutes. And then it ended up being a little shorter than I think we were kind of thinking originally.
Yeah, well, it was sort of like the structure of it was based on a Rush song called Hemispheres. Hemispheres Book 2, Cygnus X1. So like that was like 1978 when it was okay to just write a 20-minute long song and make it like the #1 song on your album. And the structure of that was it's this big giant rock song, but at the end there's this little acoustic part that kind of is emotional and sums up sort of what the rock song was about. And so that's where that end section came from, at least like conceptually, you know. But yeah, we just thought because it had that structure that it would end up being 20 minutes long like that original song. But as it turns out, 20 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
So we were just like, let's just make it till it's good and then stop.
Yep.
It's a good way to go about things.
Yeah.
The other cool part, I want to get into the video portion in a second, but I do want to kind of go a little chronologically and talk about the recording too. So we recorded at Sunset Sound here in LA, and this was the first thing we recorded there, and we did it in, what is it, studio? I think it's Studio 3, although I always forget the numbering in the studios, but it's where parts of Zeppelin 4 were recorded. A bunch
Prince
of
recorded in there.
Prince recorded in that, yeah, and then mainly in the other one too, in the Studio 2. In Studio 1 was the Doors main studio, but this, like, it's this historic. It's Elton John, who is like my all-time favorite, did a bunch of stuff in there. Van Halen, it's like, and it used to be the old Disney Orchestra recording studio too, back in the 50s. So it's like, it was so cool to be, I'd never been in this studio before. We go in there in this big room, like they have the albums that were recorded in there. It's like, you know, this big thing of Zeppelin 4, and it's like, what the fuck are we a part of right now?
Yeah.
Just kind of how
hopefully
I felt
the talent comes in through osmosis into our bodies.
Right. It's just, yeah, that was a really special thing. Yeah.
It was awesome. Every step of the way, things seem to have worked out with this one, and that is almost never the case. So, oh no, India! Oh God!
Sorry, that was my bad.
Yeah, we're good.
I want to let you guys know that I've switched us over to the drop pile, so that's now an active thing on the stream that people can see. Both you, Dan, both you and Brian are still visible on webcam, so we can see your lovely faces. But everyone else, you are not visible.
Okay, no longer webcam.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
But you can still see each other.
I'll keep it on Discord.
But I want to hear from you all, like, what was this process like for you, to phrase it as broadly as possible? Like, what was this process like for you guys?
Well, I mean, first of all, I just want to say that to be part of NSP's history in this way, and such a kind of important and honestly awesome song, was incredible for us. We were so honored that you asked us to do it. You know, out of all the many skilled and talented people that you know, we were really, really so just stoked to get this project and to be able to also, like, you say it was a dream for you to pursue this kind of Space Ace and Dragon Lair style. It was a dream for us to try and emulate that and try and aim for that. So thank you so much for bringing this to us and helping us just be a part of something like this, because it's so cool.
If I could piggyback off of that a little bit, just in terms of the breadth of Knights' work, how much of that is, you guys, whether it be in relation to Night Runner or PWRP or NSP. It's been phenomenal because, I'm sure you guys know as artists that it can be difficult to find work where you have a lot of creative freedom, right? Usually you're doing something for like a chip company or something, and the chip company goes, "Oh, well, our mascot wouldn't do that. Kids want to see this today." And you're just like, and you go, okay, and you get it done. And like the fact that you guys were so willing to just work with us when we had crazy ideas, or, it's like you would just, there's so many times where like you just send me a song, what do you think? Like, I don't know, I think this. You go, that's really cool. What if we did this? And like you get this brainstorming, this excitement, this creative like collaboration that's just invigorating as an artist. And the fact that we've been able to do that for all the way, like again, and you look at the growth that all the way from Heartboner to this, two similar styles, but like you see the upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. And it I mean, at the end of the day, like, you just want to do something that matters with your time and your life, and we've been crazy lucky that along the way we've met people who do their thing way beyond anything that we could conceptualize, and that's sort of, you all represent the animation side of that, where, you were doing things in this we couldn't have even written into a script because we couldn't imagine it, So
it's not our vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly. So it's to look at this, I feel like we get almost an unnecessary amount of credit for just because it says, our band name at the top. But like, this is your, it's a shared triumph, like it's your thing as much as ours. And that goes for the directing and the people who were involved with the live action setups and everything, the costumes, and it's I don't know, it just feels like we're doing something that makes a difference in our lives and in other people's lives, and that is way beyond anything Brian and I could have imagined when we started this band and we're doing shows for like 10 people in a gross basement comedy club people under a supermarket.
Yeah, totally. It is my and our artistic philosophy to just work with awesome people and let them be awesome. And that is what has happened here. Like, you guys just did an incredible job. And I do want to talk a little bit too about we didn't really talk about the live action filming at all. Because we don't really have anyone from that here. Like, those were the castle set, the Necromancer Cave. We had a whole art department build those sets in a big soundstage, and it was nuts. Like, I've never been a part of something that big. I know for people who are like actors, it happens all. You just show up, here's a set, you do your thing. For us, where like this is all just coming, it's like it's all from us. Like, we have to start it and then be part of it too. We don't show up to someone else's thing. It was amazing to see these sets be like, oh my god, like that's a throne room with giant golden lions in it. What the fuck? It was really wild.
When we started filming the videos, you can see them in our earliest stuff from like 2009. Like, we mostly filmed at or around my grandma's house with like found objects. Yes. And that 100% still is our skill level when it comes to making live action videos. It's just that now we incorporate other people who can do it better. So it looks like we've advanced in our skills. Do
you remember, Danny? I can't remember. What was the first video we filmed at the YouTube space here in LA? Was it Road Trip? No.
Oh God, that would have been around 2013, something like that. 2014, maybe.
Probably 2014. I can't quite remember.
It might have been Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, maybe
it might have been like the dragon dance part of Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, and I remember showing up, and they had something right where, like, if the first time you used it, you got a crew who would just show up and help you film. And I remember showing up to that and being like, how many cameras do we have? 2 cameras and like 3 people to work. What? It was like, because previously it was like, a director, Jim Turner in our early days, who would also do all the editing. and then like one assistant to help with lights and stuff. And then the first time we showed up to like a 3-person crew, it was like, this is fucking big time right now. And
We've made it.
That, I know. And then go from something like that to something like this, where if you look at that credits list, like the number of people on set, it was probably, what, 50 people or something like that? It was just
Maybe.
bananas, yeah.
The filming
Yeah,
looks so
and-
cool. Like, I have so many questions about it. Like, you guys
Go
got to
ahead.
ride horses? What the heck? What was that like?
Yeah.
Like,
We did. That was in Griffiths Park. We didn't ride them too much because
Ride
as
is a
soon
generous
as
term for what we did on those horses.
yeah, because LA is very regimented about where you can film and where you can bring large animals to, and so that we didn't go very far on them. And also, was it your horse or my horse, Brian? One of the horses just had a natural wanderlust.
That was
would
mine.
take it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't really tell from the shots in the video, but 99% of the time someone was leading those horses while we were on them, and the camera was just framing them out. But yeah, my horse would just like in typical Ninja Brian fashion would just do whatever the fuck it wanted, would wander away, would turn around, would face the wrong direction, would, you know, Danny's horse would be going straight and mine would just veer off. It didn't give a single shit about.
You guys ever ridden
anything.
horses before that?
Yeah, I mean a little here and there, but not like fast.
yeah, like if you're walking a trail, like that kind of thing, but
Yeah,
but
exactly.
never like gallop.
Good
You know?
thing we animated those segments then.
Well, that honestly, I think that was. Well, now, can you guys remind me? I think, was it that section we added compared to the original thing you guys were going to do? We added some section compared to what you originally were
I think
going
it
to
was
do.
the last. Well, there was a couple. I do remember the last bit with the fairies was definitely like that was
Yes.
definitely an addition.
I think it was
Yeah.
chapter 3.
Yeah, we split up our animated sections into chapters, and so we had chapters 1, 3, 4, and 6. And I think you guys added chapter 3, and then it sort of like nestled very comfortably up against chapter 4, and they were able to transition from one of those to the other.
Yeah, which was chapter 3?
It was a part just before the "Let's ride." You know, where
yeah,
we get to
right.
see
Oh,
you
yeah.
coming through the town
Yeah,
and everything.
It's from
Right.
transitioning into you guys in the scrying bowl from the necromancer, which I'm really glad about
Yes.
because you guys added those really nice shots of the necromancer, and they were really interesting because they were stylistic kind of milestones for us getting the look and feel of like how Bluth can we make this, and then we had this really
Yes.
gnarled great drawing from I think it was Gemma was doing the keys on that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, that gave me a lot of material to be like, I need to make this as... I think I started watching sequences from Anastasia with Rasputin, doing this whole song and dance stuff, and that was like on loop for me.
Yeah, I believe we did originally intend. I mean, what were we thinking? I think we were going to try to live action shoot that arrow scene, and I have no idea. Yeah,
We
like,
did
what in
actually.
the-
No, we did shoot it.
We did.
Yeah, I had I fired the thing. Well, fired. I unsuccessfully
that's
attempted
right,
to
yes.
shoot the arrow, and everyone was like, "Clear the fuck out of his way," because he does not know what he's doing. And it looked so bad on film because I really did not know what I mean, it's not like, you know, I did not go through hours of training for this role. Like, I just kind of showed up and I was like, oh fuck, I got my bow. Yeah, I was not good at shooting those
There's
arrows.
something about Danny not remembering that you guys shot that would have been a lot funnier if he currently had an arrow sticking out of his bag.
I took a shot to the head, man, and then it's all fuzzy. Yeah, no, because I remember thinking one of the discussions we'd had was, I don't know if you're all familiar with it, but there's a music video by Royal Blood called Out of the Black.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
It's fucking amazing.
It's an awesome video. I bet you'd like it a lot. it's pretty dark and gross, but it sort of has that live action to animation, back to live action transitions. And we thought about that a lot when we were talking to you in the early stages of this video, because there was so much stuff in there that we couldn't film. You know, it was just unfilmable at the level of, you know, filmmaking that we're doing. So what they did with the Out of the Black video was they sort of trick you into thinking you saw things that you didn't actually see by going to animation smoothly for the stuff that would have been crazy to film. And so that's kind of what happened. Like it feels like we traveled all over the world for this video when you watch it. But a lot of it was, you know, in the animated sections. So it really, you guys did a beautiful, beautiful job with that.
For sure.
Oh, and thank you.
Thank you.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
To
Are
see
you all
the
watching
set
the
stuff
video
as well.
now? Is that what's going on?
I'm posting about it.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Was there one more question you had, India?
Oh man, I've got too many. I need to stop myself. But yeah, like seeing the sets and everything was super cool too. You know, with the amount of guests that you got on to film with you, the lighting was incredible in the castle scenes in particular. That blue gold light that you had going on, it's been so cool to do the filming in location rather than have to rely completely on green screen.
Oh yeah. As you know, anyone with any experience shooting these things knows, green screen is much easier on shoot day and then infinitely harder afterwards. So we made a very, very conscious decision to be like, let's make a real set and make it look awesome. And then, you know, that'll be harder to make and shoot and everything, but it'll look great, and B, that way we don't have to worry about crazy green screen bullshit on the post-production end.
Yeah, and it's so frantic too. Like you see the final product and you think, man, this was just like set up perfectly the whole way through. But just because of the time constraints we had for the location where we were shooting, while we were filming the royal chamber room, 10 people were frantically building the necromancer's lair like 20 feet away with just a curtain between the two, you know? And so we would see what they were working on and think, okay, cool, that looks like it might be cool at some point. And then we'd film in the royal chamber, and then when that was done, we'd walk to the other room, and suddenly the necromancer's lair was there. We were like, holy shit. It just, when you get people who know what they're doing with these types of videos, you really are amazed at how fast it can all come together and how well under pressure everyone can work.
Well, the other thing is that, and then how, because these are people, we hired professionals, like people who've done this a lot. When they're done with the coolest thing we've ever seen happen, they're like, all right, trash it. And we're like, what? No, that was our set, and you just can't, like, I took home, there are these giant fucking foam crystals in the necromancer's cave. I took like 3 of them home. A guy had to bring them in one of the production like trucks, like a moving truck, to my place, and he's like, "Here are your crystals, bro." Like, kept them in my backyard for like a year before they dissolved into styrofoam pellets. I gave one to Audrey to keep in her room too. But like, yeah, it's so crazy to see this thing, which to us is the most amazing thing we've ever done, to people who do this every day, be like, yeah, all right, I guess we're moving on.
Yeah, it's something. Like I still have some chunky crystals in my basement, and like the little, talking about your favorite crab guy, Brian. They had those little mushrooms, those little orange mushrooms that they glued around the set, and I just thought they were so cool, and I didn't want them to get thrown away. So, I mean, I have them all at my house. I glued them to a box of dragon eggs from Game of Thrones, because that's where my life is at. And like, just everyone was laughing at me. All the studio hands were cracking up, because I'm like, they're shutting down the studio and I'm like frantically picking mushrooms off the garbage piles and stuff. But I just
because it's like
it.
if you don't take it, it's going away. Like they have, some things get recycled if they're particularly, if they can be. But generally speaking, there's not another production. Where do you keep this stuff? Like it's just, this happens all the time.
The funny thing about that, in compared to animation, is in animation we so rarely have like souvenirs. I mean, especially now that everything's digital. It used to be you'd have cells and paper and stuff like that. So it's always such a joy when fans or other people make things of what we worked on. Like we've gotten a couple of 3D prints of some characters from various of our videos. I think actually I have a broken. He got broken in shipping. I'm going to stick his ears on. We have a big bad stag.
Oh my god! Look at that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Wow,
that is amazing.
Can you turn him around, please?
We're cool.
Yeah, can you 360 that for me? Oh man, that's so cool.
That rules.
Like that's.
You just want to see his butt, eh?
It is true, and honestly, like the only thing I have from Starlight is the cell and the painting that you made for me. So it really means a lot. I love cells. I collect them, and I wish they still made them, even though it probably made your life way harder.
Like
it was very interesting to learn how to make.
Yeah,
glad it was just me, I bet.
because definitely, like in animation, you don't get any kind of physical debris left over from anything that you make. If you're working digitally, at least, like we are, we don't have the reams of paper left over, which is kind of sad in a way. So it's nice to be able to take the time afterwards to kind of reproduce that kind of
Saves
stuff.
on storage space, though.
It's true.
That having paper animation does
that maybe not
convey
computer memory space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But seeing that physically, like seeing what like 12 minutes of animation actually looks like, does kind of convey the scale of it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, especially something like this, where you're like, "Fuck, it's just so detailed." Like, yeah, it's When I think so, the other really amazing thing from our point of view is, of course, we're not involved in the day-to-day of what you all did, and so from our perspective, it's like these, I don't want to say long, but these intervals of like silence, and then you'd send us something and be like, "How about this?" And every time we were like, "What? Oh my god!" It was just like these incredible because we don't see the incremental progress. We see these massive leaps of
version 1, then version like 54.
Right, which to you guys, you can see the whole history behind it, but to us, you only show it to us when it's ready to be shown to us for notes or whatever. And it's really amazing to see this. It's like what we in science we would call a step function, where it's like, okay, it's here, bam, it shot up. Okay, bam, it shot up. Whereas to you, it looks more like a steady progress. And it's really fun on our end to be like, okay, here, we're about to watch the new version. Oh my god, this is like such a level above what even the last one was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It means it makes a huge difference to us to get those reactions, just because on our end it's so slow. Like every day we feel like we're inching forward such a small amount that when we send something to you guys and you're like, "Wow, that's awesome," it means such a huge amount.
When you work on animation, do you have music playing in the background, or do you generally work in silence?
I have music.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think it depends on the work.
Really?
If you have to use your
rough.
brain consciously, it's really hard to listen to music while making those type of decisions.
I mean, in our contract with you guys, we did specify the only song you could listen to while working on this was this song. So I hope you all did.
I watched the whole thing now, and I it was all in my head. I didn't even need to watch the music. I was like, oh, I know what's happening.
Absolutely.
Just took the song and slowed it down 800%, so then it sounded different.
Yeah, perfect. As it was meant to be heard.
And then reverse.
Because there was like a certain amount of, I don't know if guilt is the right word, but there's some kind of thing where it seems like fun where Brian and I and Jim, we get to like mess around in the studio when we're writing the songs, and it's always like, oh, there's always music playing and laughter and stuff like that. And then sometimes in my mind, at least, it cuts to you guys silently, slowly working like on a single line. And I'm like, man, that I just applaud you for the dedication that must take. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I'd have the patience.
It's worth it.
We have a different type of fun.
We had a lot of goofy moments still.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you know how many of us have
There's a lot of
have meticulously sculpted your junk like on an animated character? Like,
join
That
the
is
club,
not where
bro.
I thought you were going with that, Patrick. Yeah. I remember in the throne room after the king fixes my ED, you sent a draft where I had a very visible boner, and I was like, I think we should just axe the boner part. Not that, as a band, we're averse to showing animated boner. We certainly, plenty of that has happened in the history of Ninja Sex Party, but I was.
But it's never been you.
Yeah.
It hits
It's never
different when
been-
it's you, doesn't it,
It's
Brian?
different when it's you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I am very appreciative of the way you drew my character. Like, I'll never look that cool in real life. And like, it's such a what was the Dragon's Lair? Is it Prince Eric? I can't remember his name.
In
Dirk.
Yeah,
Dirk.
Dirk.
Thank you.
Daring.
Oh,
in
man.
Dragon's Lair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daring. Yeah.
Just
Prince
like
Eric is
that
a little
super
mermaid.
skinny waist with like the jacked up chest and like everything like that. And my trainer came over to my house and I showed him the character design. I was like, "Can you make me look like this?" And he was like, "No." So I'm glad it's at least created in some way in history. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time that we really kind of focused on making a handsome, like a non-characterized version, I guess. Like characterized as far as it's animated, but like Starbomb, the Overwatch video, like it's
that's a
super
whole
comedic.
separate
So
thing.
like
Yeah.
and
The thing I always go ahead, Brian.
No, please.
Well, all I was going to say was, it was a nice change of pace because there's this funny story that I always think about. Do you ever see the movie Scary Movie? Like that joke? It's ridiculous, but Anna Faris in that movie has a scene where it's the sex scene, and she gets like jizzed like up into the ceiling, like she gets shot into the ceiling, and she went to Keenan Ivory Wayans, who was directing the movie, and said, "Are you sure about this? Like this scene feels ridiculous." And he just said, "Listen, there's no vanity in comedy. Like you just have to be willing to make yourself look as goofy as possible for the sake of the laugh." And I always think about that because I've heard stories from other animators who will say like, "Man, this person's so annoying. They just want their character to be like more and more good looking." And we're like, dude, like it's a comedy video. But
The whole premise
really,
of this band is built on looking stupid.
yeah, exactly. So I always had to keep that in mind, like even though some things are like embarrassing or whatever, it's all about the goal, which is to make people laugh more so than your own personal ego or whatever.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Brian? I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say the other animated version of Danny I can think of that you guys did was the Heartboner one, which is that is like night and day. Mystic Crystal Danny versus Heartboner Danny. It is way more realistic in this video.
It's wild how many different ways you can make a person look like themselves. You know what I mean? Like the character looks completely different, but you can still tell it's the human being that you meant it to be. That's a skill that I can't conceive of either.
Totally. I want to hear India. You mentioned on Twitter and then on here the bell. So what was so?
Can we not talk about this?
to me,
can you talk about the bell?
As an outsider, not knowing anything about animation, that looks as hard as anything else, which is to say impossible, by the way, to me. But like, what was difficult about the bell particularly?
Oh my gosh. What wasn't?
And now I feel guilty also because I believe I gave the note where I was like, well, if we say the bells of doom, I kind of want to see the bells of doom ringing. So I feel like I'm partially to blame. For,
I love
here.
the shot. Like, I love it so much because I really wanted it in there, and I wanted it to have this like slow grace about it and to really have like a feeling of heaviness and dread to it. But in order to do that, just when it comes to animation, animating something very subtly moving slowly is perhaps the most difficult thing you can do. Especially if that thing is very rigid, because there's a certain amount of give that you have when you're animating something organic, like a character or a person, where, you know, their face can bend in so many different ways and you can kind of cheat the limbs a little bit and it looks fine. But when you have something which is like a metal bell, and if you do the line in slightly the wrong place, it's going to start looking like rubber. Just so many weeks, so much toil and sweat and blood. But, you know, it was worth it in the end.
Design, though. The bell's design. The little hammer on the inside of it that has like the 4 skulls.
And then I put it all in shadow anyway. I was like, it looks better in shadow.
Can
Put it all in shadow.
Can I talk a little bit about the bell?
If you want to.
Of course.
So
if you must.
So the process for the making the bell, when there was a 2D design for it, and then from that we created a 3D mock-up of it, and then India was like, this is great, I can really tell what the volume of this is, can you get it to swing? I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I animated the bell in 3D and had all the stuff going, and I sculpted the skulls and then passed it back to India, and she was like, oh dear, what have I done to myself? And then so she like took that footage and then she retimed it herself, because I'm terrible at timing the animation. She's like, this, no. And then retimed it and then had to redraw all the frames, and then she lit it herself. Like, she just lit the whole thing. It's just incredible.
Amazing.
All the little, like, I put spikes on it. She's like, no, it needs more spikes. So we put more spikes around the bottom, and then like all the 4 skulls and stuff. It was this back and forth with this bell for like, it became a debate of my life and kind of an in-joke for the team, because I would be every day, I would just be toiling away on this bell, and we'd have like 2 more frames of the bell done. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to die doing this bell. You know,
it looks so.
We had no idea, India. Jeez.
You know, when you get like a really cool idea, and then you're like, this is awesome. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yes.
Boy, you are not a complainer at all, because we didn't know that until you just said it, and like all we ever thought was like, oh, neat, the bell, you know.
Yep. That's a cool looking bell. Hey, look at that crab.
Animation.
What a champion.
Of course.
We could tell if it was a good bell day or a bad day based on how harsh India's critiques were of our animation.
Burn it all! This damn bell.
I also want to talk
Start it
about,
over.
Again, my favorite character, Stefan, the crab. We never told you his name was Stefan, but it is. Sorry, Stefan.
I think we missed an opportunity to call him Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh.
Well, you know what?
That's what we name all our crabs.
Perfect.
That's a solid crab name. I want to know who's in charge of our little crystal crab.
The animator for that was Kevin, right?
Yeah.
Kevin animated it, and Amanda Bell designed it.
That was me.
Wow. So
I animated all the critters.
All of them. Wow. The bats and everything. Wow, that's awesome. Let's talk about the crab.
All the piters.
No, that's I mean, my favorite, as with a couple shots in the video, you know, you've got this real set and this crab that kind of scuttles away. I love little details like that. It just makes me so happy to see this little guy. And also, I think, you know, it must have a hard life with these large crystals on its back. Like, it can't get through doors. I like to think that it used to have a home in a tiny cave, and now it can't get there anymore because the crystals on its back have grown too large, and it has its little crab family that's still stuck in this cave. and it can't get back to
And the
its family, and it
sequel
has
song,
to hang
Brian.
out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Has to hang out with the necromancer the whole time.
I'm
so
glad
it's
you-
kinda depressed. Yeah.
Now it's the
Our
saddest
next
video.
record is going to
I'm
be a
glad you
12
bring
song
this up
concept
because
album about this crab's life. So
Oh,
just so
yeah.
you
Oh.
know,
A short film about
Look
like
for that on the
how
pike.
like the vanity of putting those crystals on his back. Yeah, he looks better, but now what has he sacrificed to get
That's
there?
right. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up because when animating the crab, like I just kept in mind like soft melancholy when drawing him.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. Yeah, it's not
An
it's
interesting.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say an interesting note about the detail because you had mentioned the detail of the animation, and then India brought up Amanda Bell. In most of our animations that we've done for you guys, we do what we call a two-tone or a shadow pass. Characters have shadows. We didn't do that on this one. Instead, we did what we called a scuff up pass.
You say stuff up?
Scuff up.
Scuff up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, adding like little like cross hatchings and things like that as an entire pass just to give everything texture. I think India might be able to speak a little bit more about that. But I found it very interesting.
Yeah, it was essentially to try and make the animation. We were trying to make it look as hand drawn as possible, because obviously we all work digitally. But in order to really nail that Bluth tone, we wanted it to feel like it was done on paper. And so Bryony was a huge help in that. Bryony came on board and she worked with me to try and create the kind of cleanup on the animation that could replicate something that looked like a pencil line instead. So I'm going to throw that over to you, Bryony, because, yeah.
Let me think. I should have prepared for this, really, shouldn't I? Oh well, I'll wing it. No, I mean, I was with you, wasn't I? You were sort of saying, you were showing me examples of like the style you wanted. So you're looking at like kind of Robin Hood and like blue films and stuff. And I hadn't worked on the software before, so I wasn't 100% sure on what it could achieve. So there was like technical talk. There was one part we were like, oh, we could use the pencil and that's more the texture, but then that was a pain to color. So we compromised. So we still used a vector line in Toon Boom, which is really good. You can like move the lines and it's way faster. But I was like, okay, just to give it the, that nice little scruffer, we'll just have a separate layer and just do little scruffy lines everywhere. And it didn't take too long, but it just added like all this depth that like there's like a model sheet that maybe it'll come out where you can see just what it's like, model sheet with the line, and then you add the scruff up and it's just like, I think all the scruff up is like the hair texture, armor dents, details in the leather, stuff like that. Yeah, it just gives it an extra little hand drawn scruff up
way
to
back
it,
when
it's very nice.
they tried to save a lot of money at Disney by scanning the tie-down drawings rather than the cleanup drawings directly into the computers. So essentially, before they inked the frames, they would just tidy them up with pencil as best they could and then scan them straight in. So you'd get all these little hairlines around the animation, which is the kind of look you would see on like 101 Dalmatians or Robin Hood, where they've got like more of a kind of graphite look of them because they're just
The
directly
Xerox
scanned
phase.
in. Yeah. So we were
interesting.
trying to go for something like that. And like Bryony leading the cleanup on that was 100% the reason we were able to try and go for that look. And I hope it was semi-successful.
It was totally, yeah, absolutely. I can definitely feel that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
This whole thing
Like-
has just been so far beyond what we could have hoped for. And I don't know. I'll never be able to thank you all enough. And I'm sure at some point we will try a project this big again. Yeah. But
Yes, please.
yeah. Okay. Well, shit. We're Brian and I. Brian, is it too much to say this? Like we're gonna sit down in at the end of the summer and start writing NSP. Oh God, I think album 10, original album 6, but
Original
album 10.
6, album 10, yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
God,
That's incredible.
That's so
Congratulations, guys. 10 albums.
that's
pretty
insane.
when I realized we've been together longer than the Beatles, I was like, oh, what? No, that's
Yeah.
not possible.
With
That's
an
like-
equal cultural impact.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, it's crazy the number of bands that are my favorite bands that have been together for less time and have fewer albums than NSP. Like, you know, it's just wild that we're still doing this and still able to. And I was going to say still able to work at this level, but kind of keep increasing the level we're working at as we've been going. And it's so one thing we haven't said yet on this stream, but we keep talking about amongst ourselves is that we couldn't have done this without the fans that bought the pins that financed
Oh my
the video.
God, yeah.
Like when we had this,
100%.
like we had the treatment for it and we approached you guys and, you know, we had this budget and we were like, well, we self-finance everything. It's like, we literally can't afford to do this the way we want to do it. And then there was a time where it's like, okay, what do we like? I'd say months where it's like, what the fuck do we do about this? Because we have this amazing song and we literally can't do the video for it in the way we want. And then we came up with the idea of the pins, and that's what
give fans something a little bit like had to hold on to instead of just like asking for money. Like it's like, hey, here's a thing for it.
That's right. We didn't want to do, and not, this is not a judgment about what these things are, but we didn't want to do like a Kickstarter type of thing for many, many reasons, but not the least of which is like tiers and rewards and all that stuff. I feel like it's kind of misses the point of creating the thing, you know? So we wanted to have a simple, like if you want to help us finance this, here's a pin. And it's kind of actually the same cost as a normal pin, maybe, you know, whatever. And all the money we make from this will go towards financing the video, which it 100% did. Like we, you know, those pins, even with the pins, it was like that partially funded, mostly, but still partially funded the video. But we couldn't have gotten anywhere near the making this without the people who supported us through buying those things. So we're so grateful. And we had no idea. Also, remember, Danny, we were like, well, we'll put these on sale and see if people buy them. Like, it's kind of we've never asked this before. We've been very careful to not ask people, hey, give us money so we can make a thing. It's always been like, oh, by buying the albums, we use that money to make the stuff. And so we were unsure if people would be up for it. And people totally were. And then we're very, very, very patient as we started making the thing. And then there was this, I don't know if you guys saw or heard about it. There was this little worldwide event, which it was a virus. And like it kind of threw a few people off for a little, it was so disruptive and made everything take longer than it otherwise would have. And we, the whole time,
as if it wasn't expensive enough as it is.
Well, yeah, and I say this, by the way, not to put, and this is not casting aspersions on anyone to say this took a long time. Everyone was working to the top of their abilities the whole time. There was just a lot of shit going on. But at some point we were like, all right, are people getting impatient? Are they paid for this thing, or what's going on? And I have to say, people were so supportive. I saw endless comments like, we'd release updates occasionally and people would say, you guys, we know you're making it the best you can. Just take your time. It'll be done when it's done. And
they were so cool.
So cool.
I can't wait to read. I can't wait to read the YouTube comments on this video. And that is a sentence I have never said in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really exciting. And it's cool too, because it kind of feels like this was more of a collective effort from everyone. I hope the fans feel like they're more a part of this video because they contributed to its existence.
Maybe it's good that they hear that, because people understand sometimes like you said, the anxiety that you have when you are creating something for your audience, and that you care about them and you want them to like it and you're worried about giving them something good. And sometimes I think when these things come out, that kind of gets thrown under the rug. Hey, it looks cool. I like it. Thanks. Bye. Yep. But the fans should also understand that that's a huge help to just be supportive in that small way of hey, I like what you guys are doing. It's COVID. keep on trucking. It's like, thank you. Like that's a weight off our shoulders as we
Oh my
work
God.
work on this thing.
We are so we know so many people who were like completely fucked by this disease, like couldn't work, couldn't put stuff out, like whole career. Anyone we know whose main job is live performing, for example, really, really hurt. And we are so lucky that we were able to put out an album, for example, and have people support us by getting it. That it was, it's not like we didn't take a hit this year, but we were able to continue to afford, housing and food. Like, it was never a question that things were going to stay solvent during this because of this incredible fan base. And like we've just felt so. I do not use this word. I'm as big of an atheist as they come, and I want to be clear before I say this. Blessed by
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed by this really amazing group of people supporting us.
Yeah, and from like a more macro level, like just in terms of our lives and the decades now that Brian and I have put into music and comedy, just with the pins, each pin was $20, and you'd be surprised at how meaningful it is to just have someone say, "Yeah, what you do is worth $20." Like it because whenever you start an artistic career, you have to give so much away for free, just to hopefully get attention and, internships and all the different forms that like free work can take. And getting to a point where, I mean, maybe that seems like a small amount to somebody, but it's almost like a binary thing. It's like, is your thing worth 0 or is it worth 1? and just to be told that like by this awesome group of fans that, hey, it's worth a little bit of the money that I work for in my life, that shit, it means more than probably people realize.
That's right. Even if it's $1 or $5, whatever, just the fact that someone is willing to support an artist financially is all the difference in the world.
I think by putting out really like sincere and genuine content, you guys have built up this trust with an audience that we're like, we know the next thing you want to make, we're going to enjoy. Like they trusted that in everyone working on this, that this Mystic Crystal video was going to be something really special. And I think you only get that when you are consistently doing that over time, and you only get that en masse like you guys have by just being like there and providing value to people. So it's really cool to see you guys get supported in the way that you have been.
That's a super nice thing to say, man. It's awesome. And honestly, we love doing it, and we just want to be able to keep doing it as long as we can. Like that's really all it is. We don't I think I could speak for you, Brian. Like we don't desire fame on a grand scale, and we don't need to be billionaires. Like none of that shit matters. All that matters to us is that we can live our lives and keep the lights on at our house and do something fun, like that's all that we want.
I think a lot about hearing, sometimes you hear a really successful, whatever, director, screenwriter, artist, anybody who is now part of let's say a studio system or a larger thing, say that the kind of the best time in their artistic careers were, maybe they're making a lot of money now and a lot of other problems have been solved, but artistically they felt like when they could really take chances and do whatever the fuck they wanted was, kind of a golden era. And they didn't realize it at the time, probably because, they had to keep the lights on. That was a challenge. But we've been lucky that we are stuck in this phase of we can just do whatever we want. We want to write part 3 of the Boner trilogy. Sure. Great. Let's do it. I don't think we're in any danger of breaking into like a studio system level of, creation or whatever. Like, people would be crazy to try to, do what we do in on a scale like that. I don't think it would work. So we are stuck in the best possible way in the phase of let's just make cool shit, whatever we want to do. And the only limit is, basically, this feels so corny to say it, what we can imagine doing and the amazing people we can work with. And then because we found you guys, for example, we can literally do anything because we have the talented collaborators to back it up.
I honestly think that's when you make the most exciting stuff, is when you're in that position to be able to just do what you love and keep the lights on, like you said. There's a lot to be said for the stability of being part of a larger venture, but I think the freedom and inspiration from being able to kind of just pursue truly what it is that excites you most next is one of the coolest things about NSP. You guys are always evolving and trying new stuff. You never get stuck in that, that rut of just wanting to do what is popular. And not that you guys aren't popular, but just that you're always evolving and trying new stuff. And I think that really excites people who listen to your music. And it's always really exciting for us to get to work with you on projects because we never know what the next thing is going to be that's going to come out of NSP.
Yeah. Well, luckily we've built the framework where we can kind of do almost any style if we really want to. I do remember one time, do you remember this, Danny? We were writing with Jim Roach and he was like, hey, let's try like a poppy song, like a radio hit kind of song. And we spent half a day on it and we were all like, oh, no.
I hate this.
This is terrible. This is not us. But yeah, we like musically also we have Twerp who can play anything. And so thanks to them and Roach who can produce anything, it's like, we have this team that is just the dream team.
Yeah. And I mean, it just like, we can't fake it. Like the smart thing after Danny Don't You Know became kind of like something that went outside of our normal circle of people that our music reaches. The quote unquote smart thing from like a studio perspective would have been to just write an album of songs like that, specifically like of a certain time frame and catchy hooks in a chorus and everything like that. Basically just try to write the same song again a couple of times, which is the note that most pop artists
try to strike twice.
Yeah, exactly. And so that would have been the smart thing to do from like a business perspective. And instead we wrote a fucking 12-minute long song about wizards. So like it's just we'll never be designed for radio hits,
Might I add a song about your balls where they became super powered?
That was actually the last song we wrote for that album. We wrote that on the last day of our writing session. And Brian was like, what about a song about your nuts? And I was like, what about it, Brian?
Well, and then I remember we were talking about this before. We were looking over, whenever we write songs, we have this long list of old song titles. And Thunder and Lightning, I think that was one of yours, Danny, from years ago. And we were just scrolling through and we had this balls idea in mind. And I remember looking at that and being like, that's the song. It's Thunder and Lightning. Those are your balls. That's it. And we were like, okay, let's see where that goes.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a kind of a relief, actually, because the Mystic Crystal was the first song we wrote for the Prophecy album. Yeah. And after it was done, we were like, let's write some short songs.
There's
we were exhausted.
Amazing about like I can like I don't know like specifically your credits, Danny, on like in terms of like writing lyrics for different songs. I think I know you had a big part in Magnum Bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So I've considered you like a very talented lyricist, and I have these images in my head of you reading like Moby Dick and Dracula, and then going in and talking about Thunder and Lightning. Like there's this wonderful contrast of those two.
Yeah, well, we all have different sides, and we're all multi-dimensional beings, and it's true. Like I love classic literature and I love dick jokes, and they just don't have to be mutually exclusive.
You know what I was just looking at? I was looking at old emails, Did you remember this, Danny? We wrote 6969, but today in America, by the way, is 69. 96 in the rest of the world. But that was when Audrey was born. We wrote that song in the middle of me having a baby. Well, sorry, my wife had the baby. But I was there for it. And it was this, that is such a blur now. I don't actually have any memory of this, but I must have been doing this thing where, I was like in this new parent infant haze where you're like, mostly what's going on, baby? And then, all right, future dick, the boners, synth jam, okay, yeah, send it to Dan. Does he like it? Okay, he likes it. All right, keep moving on. And it's this like kind of dichotomy where you've got your life going on, and then and you're reading or you're taking care of a baby or whatever, and then you sit down to write something or create something. Is so interesting to me how these things, like, could I tell you what the influence of that on the 6969 music was? No, I have no fucking idea. But it was so weird to me that was going on the same time as this new life was, beginning 10 feet away from me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that talking about like the mix of serious and goofy, it's the same thing. It's the same thing for me with Game Grumps, and the same thing for me, like with all of our music and our band, like these things are living documents of our life and where we've been. And I always think about where I was, and it spans, NSP by itself spans like 4 different living locations for each of us, more for you, because you were really moving around when you were a physics professor. So it just I don't know. It's like a photo album that you can actually like play back and listen to and hear and feel snapshots of your life at certain ages. It's amazing. It's amazing. And
amazing.
The Mystic Crystal will always, for me, remind me of what it felt like to be 40, because so much of my 40th year was spent writing that goddamn song. So it's special, man. It's special. And I believe it's time for me to go walk my dog, because I can, whenever I can hear like the click clack of her nails, like pacing around, and then I hear like dead silence, that means she's like outside the door of my room, just like just waiting for me to open the door. But this was fantastic. I love doing this. I'm so glad we got to hang out a little bit.
Thank you for joining. Oh my god.
Yeah, thank you guys all for being here and being a part of this project. You're the best.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much for having us and for letting us work on this incredible video with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I promise, I don't know what form it's going to take or how long it'll take, but I hope this isn't the last time we all work together, because you are all like the very rare mix of unbelievably talented and unbelievably nice and cool. So that is that's worth its weight in gold. So thanks.
Oh man, thank you
100%.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Onto the next thing that we get to work on
Yeah.
together, I hope.
I just
stuff.
Oh god.
I wanted to add something maybe just before you go, Dan.
Sure.
I was just realizing that you were talking about history and how you can kind of look back. I recently realized that in June 2013 was when I first met India, and it was June 26th when that's our kind of anniversary day. So when I went to meet her, she was the one who introduced me to Game Grumps. And I still remember that first day of walking into her apartment. And she's like, "Oh yeah, do you want to check out this thing? I've been listening to it. There's this new guy, Dan. He seems pretty cool on this thing." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And that is like our earliest memory of together is like sitting next to each other, working, listening to Game Grumps together. So it's really surreal.
Man,
that's so great.
That is amazingly cool, and I feel the same way, because June 25th, 2013 was when my first episode of that went up with me on the show. So, and I only remember that because like it's about to be 8 years. So
Fuck.
I
That's
know, isn't that something?
bananas. Oh my god.
And I, because it's weird, because Game Grumps is like simultaneously like a later period of my life kind of thing in my mind, and yet also I can't remember a time when I wasn't doing it, you know. So it again, it's the same kind of thing we were talking about earlier. The idea that like a friend of mine sitting on a couch and making stupid jokes about whatever comes into our heads, and you know, my other friend and I writing songs about dinosaurs and unicorns. Both of those projects, when Brian and I started NSP, and when Aaron first asked me to join Grumps, the only goal was to make people laugh at any cost, you know. And then over the years, we started getting more responses like the one you just said, where it's like, hey, this has actually been a part of my life for so long that just it's naturally become, there's an emotional connection there. And that made it more of an emotional connection for us to do what we do. And that's when you sort of saw that reaction of Brian and I putting more of ourselves into these songs, which is where Danny Don't You Know came from, which is like, you know, very much the story of us growing up nerds in New Jersey. And, you know, even things like, I don't know what we're talking about, and Welcome to My Parents' House, like, I mean, they're not really based on experiences, but like kind of like a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It just, we started putting more of ourselves into the songs, and it just feels like the level of emotion from the people who listen to it and the emotion from ourselves has risen steadily over the years. So now it's at the point where like, dude, I just hope we can keep doing this until the earth explodes, because it means so much to us to be able to do it and hear comments like that, man. That means a great deal to us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much for letting us share in that, and for letting us be not just like a company that makes animation for you, but to be part collaborators in creating, like, to add to the creative idea of it.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have it any other way. You guys are amazing at what you do, and we love working with you.
Yeah, that line in Danny Don't You Know of "You finally find your tribe," like that made me
That's
tear
it.
up. But this is it. These
That's
people here, and you guys, and like people in the chat, like this wouldn't be possible. And he's doing them.
You're the tribe.
Yeah, I mean, I think I speak for everyone here when I say we've all been impacted by what you guys do on an emotional level, and it's a part of our lives in various ways, and we're just really thankful for you guys doing what you do and making us laugh, and you know, your music being part of our lives and us getting to be a part of that is really special to all of us. So thank you.
It's our little village on the internet, drawing and making animated dick jokes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Especially
guys,
since we're all spread out all over the world, you know.
This is what I was just about to say, is it's really incredible how this is like a full-on international, worldwide thing. And it's, you know, the internet has done some pretty shitty stuff, but this isn't one of those things.
Yeah.
It's really amazing, and I feel even more, because I mean, honestly, like the only bummer of the whole experience of making this video was that we couldn't hang out with you all while you're doing it, you know, just by the nature of how our lives are set up and how the world has been. So I don't know, I personally feel after doing this like way more inspired to, you know, just get right to work on the next thing.
Yep, totally. And I love seeing all your faces. It's so nice to put a face to this.
I'm gonna share you all
great
again,
team.
so
Yeah.
the people at home can see everybody's faces again.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That's a great idea. By the way, this draw, I haven't commented on the draw pile, which is incredible.
We have a whole list of
Grab right
questions curated from our moderators that we have there, and I have not felt the moment to interrupt this like fantastic discussion yet. So I'm
Danny, if you want to go and walk the dog, I can handle them if you need to take off.
Sure. Like, can we do like a lightning round of like real quick questions? Is that possible?
Heck
I'm down with that.
Lightning round. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go for it, man.
Hold on, I need to find the document. Lightning will strike in a second.
Dan, Brian, if you want to see inside of the chat, there's a list here in the Knights of the Light Table Discord server. If there's any there that spark your interest, please do.
Where did you put that? Well, just read them to us. We'll
all right, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever sounds good to you is good to us.
Okay, so Jim of the Gym asks, what's everyone's favorite sequence? For Dan and Brian too.
Oh, mine. I don't think I've talked about it much. There's this little crab that has crystals on its back, and he's on screen for about 2 seconds, and it's just the best. I think that I could see a lot of love went into that crab.
For me, it's when we dismount the steeds outside of the necromancer's lair, and it's the moonlight rose over the door and the welcome die mattress, doormat. It's just like, I don't know. There's something about that moment where like every time I watch it, I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just like one too many cool things in a row, I guess. That's my favorite.
What my legitimate favorite thing is Rainbow Dragon Barf, because anytime an animal vomits and keeps its eyes wide open is my favorite thing. And that dragon just going something. It's like that's what your cat does, and it's perfect. And the fact that Danny is then wiping bits of rainbow off, I fucking love it. So great.
Yeah.
Do you guys on the animation team want to chime in with your favorites?
Brian's erectile dysfunction. That was my favorite to draw.
Thank you. It's not fun to
and
live
anything
through.
with the wizards.
The necromancer on his steed was pretty awesome, with like the flaming mane and Markiplier looking all demonic up there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I loved all of the necromancer shots. They were so much fun to work on.
Yeah, when someone mentioned before the scrying bowl, which is so cool. Oh, just love when he hits it off the pedestal. It's great. Yeah. All right, next question.
All right. Snagglepuss says, when are you going to start working on the NSP Broadway musical?
We have no concrete plan. I would love to do it personally, but what even is that? Like, it's probably a jukebox musical type thing. I don't know. But so the answer is no concrete plans, but I think that might be really, really fun. I have an idea for the title, which would be Hamilton. And I think it would be really, really what? Don't roll your eyes like that. No one's done that.
That's something that I would honestly have no idea how to do.
Oh, wait, instead of Little Shop of Horrors, it could be Little Shop of Hard-Ons.
Oh, Patrick.
That's pretty solid.
We're going to have to sue you for the rights of that one.
Would that be a rental store?
Wow.
Great question.
I
There's a lot to
legitimately
think about.
We never did this, but when the prophecy came out, do you remember I wanted to do this PR thing where we did a little pop-up shop and everyone looked like they were a Best Buy employee with khakis and polo shirts, and it was called Butt Stuff, and it just sold like butt supplies and our album, and then we determined that wasn't a good idea for very, very obvious reasons. Anyway.
I love it. All right, and we have a question kind of rolling off that. What are NSP's plans for the future? And Knights as well for Patrick.
Bri, do you want to talk about LU?
We haven't announced it, but I feel
this is
like
as good a time as any.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So this is a major NSP announcement. We've kind of hinted at it, but we went back into the studio and re-recorded a bunch of old NSP songs with Twerp. And basically we took all of our favorites from before we started working with Twerp, and some of which we've been performing live with them for the past several years, and are going to put out an album. Can I say the title? Do you think I can say the title? Title of the album is Level Up, and it is old NSP songs played by us and Twerp, and that'll be out probably like late this year.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited for that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
How many times I've listened
listened
to you guys' old songs and just been like, oh, if only like they had the modern, like not acoustics. I don't know the words
Oh.
for it.
We had the
Like
exact
modern
same thought.
arrangement. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we would listen to like Dragon Slayer, Attitude City, and the songs that clearly, when we wrote them in our heads, they were like these big guitar-driven rock songs, but we didn't have a guitarist and we didn't have a drummer for the hard-driving rock part. And when we would play those types of things live, Unicorn Wizard was another one. I don't want to give away the whole track list, but like when we would play those songs live, we were like, God, this is so much better than the version that's on disc from 9 years ago or whatever. So yeah, we just like, now it's the full band. I think I've grown as a singer since then. Like our production skills have grown a lot, and it just sounds.
Now we have a producer, for example.
Yeah, those songs just sound. Yeah, those songs sound the way that we meant them to always. So we're super excited about that album, and it's all recorded and all done, and we're working on the album art now, and it should be out. Yeah, and end of the year.
And we're also going to put out an album version of that little acoustic show we did first. So there are going to be 2 NSP albums this year. One is the album version of that acoustic show, and one is the new Level Up album. And we're writing, as Danny said, we're starting to write the next original album.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Amazing.
Thanks.
And then we're already talking about we're in the process of making videos for all this stuff for the Level Up album, and there's a really cool I don't want to give anything away, but there's some really fun stuff that's happening for those videos too.
Oh man,
for sure.
You see, because
so I think we have like 5 more minutes on our end, because we actually have a call at 11 we have to do also.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Well, Butterscup 95 said if you could go back and do one of your songs, which would it be? But I guess the answer is you have to buy the album later on this year to find out.
There will be about 10 answers to that question that you'll find out very shortly.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. There was a nice one here that we can probably finish off on. Let me just see if I can find it again. Yeah. So the Dozer says, Danny and Brian, first off, thank you for being beautiful beings. If there's anything you can go back and tell your 20-something selves, what would you tell yourselves?
I mean,
a lot of things.
I wouldn't change a lot of like what the actions I took or places I moved or stuff I did. What I would say is just something to the effect of just be more confident in your abilities. Like you're doing good stuff, but then scientifically or whatever, and then musically, like trust that it's good. And you will grow as an artist, as a scientist, as a person, but believe in yourself a little bit more, because I look back on the stuff I was creating then in a variety of contexts, and even stuff that at the time I was like, whatever, I'll put it out. I like a lot more than I thought I would in the future. So I would like my younger self and my current self to have more self-confidence.
Yeah, I think something similar along those lines. I would tell myself you're not as old as you think you are. There's something about the way, maybe it's advertising, maybe it's just societally the way we speak about age, but from the time you're 18, you just start thinking like, oh God, I'm so old, because like every day you're the oldest you've ever been, so with each passing year, at least I would think like, oh my God, I'm 24 or 25. Like, wasn't I 13 like 5 minutes ago? And it would always freak me out. And of course, the flip side to look at that is that you're never as young as you are today, and now I'm in my early 40s and I somehow feel younger than I did in my early 20s. I think I was just in this mindset of whatever decisions you make, you will be locked into them. Whatever job you choose, wherever you decide to live, whatever your next move is, will affect everything in your life. And I would go back and tell my younger self, like, it's okay, man. Like, you can change course like 5 or 6 times in your life and it's going to be all right. Because I think we make better choices when we're not putting unnecessary weight on them emotionally, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And just that thought of whatever I do next is going to decide the rest of my life. That made shit a lot harder and more grindy than it needed to be, especially in my 20s. And now, like, because every band I was in, I thought this is going to be the band. You know, this is going to be the one that I'm in for the rest of my life. And it turned out that that didn't happen until my 4th band, which is the one that sings songs about wizards and dicks. And I very much could not have foreseen that in any way. So I think the very short version of the answer to that question is just go easier on yourself, you know? And we all, because we're all artists, we're all perfectionists, and we all tend to put a great deal of stress and importance on everything we do when in fact, like, the best stuff always happens when you're relaxed and things just kind of flow.
Yep. And to jump off that, I would also say, make the scary choice. You know, because the stakes are lower than you think. Do the thing that is, you know, go with the flow. Do the thing that you want to do, but seems like maybe it'll fail. It's easier to live with failure than it is to live with regret. At least for me personally. So if you think something is going to be a big leap, take it. And as long as it doesn't seem like if it's like maybe I should jump off this bridge, you know, not like anything too dark, but like maybe I should do something really, you know, out there. If it's a scary but well, you know, but seems like a not totally insane option, I think it's always the right option.
Yeah,
And
leap
you
in
get
the
a lot
net
of
will
experience
appear.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
That's it. Leap in the net will appear. That's exactly it. Yep.
Leap in the net will appear. That's the way I always heard it growing up, and that's good advice. When it comes to not physical leaps. So yeah, thank you again to all of you. It was wonderful to hang out, and thank you to all the fans who enjoyed the video and were here to hang out as well. And thank you to you, Brian.
So
You're a fucking treasure.
Dude, you're the best. You.
Love you.
Aw.
Love you. Yeah.
All right.
This was so much fun.
Shall we
I'm so
wrap
glad
it
we
up?
did this.
Yeah, you guys, thank you
Yep.
so much for being here and for giving us so much of your time as well. It's been awesome.
This is
pleasure.
You guys are all
This has been
awesome.
the best.
Dan, Brian, Animation Squad, all of you guys are incredible. And congratulations on an amazing video that's out in the world now. It exists.
Yeah. To you
Yay!
all too. And
Hooray.
thank you to everybody who supported it and watched it and worked on it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll catch you all later.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ah, that was amazing. Well, okay, well, I mean, do you guys
Good luck.
want to, if you guys want to chill, there's more questions I can give you that are more focused on animation. Or if you
Did you
guys
want
need
to
to
show,
go, then that's also fine.
before
Sadly,
everyone goes, do you
I'm
want to
gonna
show
have
the
to-
chat your cool little picture back there?
Hmm? Oh, yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show this. All right, chat. Where did I put you? Got to get Twitch back up so I can see people's reactions to this because it's very cool. Okay, cool. So this is a painting. Now that you've seen the video, I can show you because it's not a huge spoiler. There we go, it's focusing. This is Renee's painting that she did because she's incredible for my birthday, and it's a background from the Mystic Crystal. So I'm going to show you guys. Feast your eyes!
Sorry for the compression. Oh.
It made its
Don't
way.
The
move,
connection's a
India,
little rough.
don't move.
I'm not.
let it focus.
It's so compressed.
That's
There we
amazing.
go.
Beautiful.
I love how fluorescent
The
and
colours.
diverse the thing is. Yeah.
Look, it's beautiful.
Get those colours for print.
There, it's getting a little better.
We'll share this, I think, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
It's somehow it looks like you like printed out pixel art because it stays low quality when you move it forward.
I will take a picture of it and
Sorry,
post it on
Renee.
Twitter. But it's so cool, Renee. Holy crap!
Oh, thank you so much.
God, it was fun.
I didn't
oh,
take
but you
any
had to-
pictures of it when I still had it, so like you literally have the only version of what it finally looked like.
Oh my gosh, it's precious. Must keep it safe. I'll send you some pictures of it so you can have a record that it exists before I do something terrible like accidentally spill coffee on it, which is what I tend to do to everything. We should also share the coasters that were made by Bryony for the team.
At
I
long
do need
last.
to do like the rest of the crew.
So I've got
But
this is Mike's.
there we go.
Mine's upstairs because I've
Mike.
been using it next to the sofa.
Oh, wow.
But Bryony
so
has
cool.
wood burned these coasters and sent them round to the whole
Gorgeous.
team.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My camera on briefly to show.
Oh, these are fantastic.
Oh yeah, Gemma's got a good one.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Bryony, you
That's so
even
cool.
chose each person's scenes, right?
Nice, nice.
Did you even
Huh?
choose each person's scenes that they worked on as well?
Yeah, I asked like people sort of like while we were working on it, like, hey, what's your favorite shot? And then I was like, snoop. Like sort of printed it off like a key that the person did. And then like traced it on the trace paper and then like sort of transferred that to wood. And then I have like a wood burner pen, so I like pyrographed it, and I think it's coloured with coffee, different strains of coffee, and then I varnished it. I was meant to do one for like all the team, but like I'm not near my pyrograph kit, so I didn't want to be like. So I was meant to do one for everyone, but I haven't gotten around to like asking for anything.
Sorry, I didn't
But
mean to
I will-
expose you.
I will do it.
Alright.
It was, like, fun. No. It was part of the plan, but it was like, how do I ask background what favorite shot is? Because I'd have to get like the file kind of thing. But that is part of the. So don't worry, Renee Mark.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to give marks. I can just give Mark in person when I go back to.
I mean, I didn't do anything for any of
That'd
you
be the
guys,
easiest
so
But yeah.
sorry about that, guys.
Renee and Patrick.
This has been absolutely
Renee and
amazing.
Patrick, you need to give me your favorite shot. Yes.
I'll definitely get on that. For now, though, I do have to head off and get to some meetings. But I just wanted to thank everybody for being a part of this project. I know it was a long and probably the biggest project the Knights has ever done. So definitely give yourselves a round of applause for that, because it's a huge, huge accomplishment. And just want to say how thankful I am that I get to work alongside such talented and amazing individuals.
Oh.
You guys are consistently and constantly inspiring.
Thanks so much, Pat.
Oh, thank you,
I'd say the
Patrick.
same thing about you. Thank you so much for gathering us all
Thanks for
together
having
in
me.
this little crew that we have here.
We got a nice little kingdom, don't we?
We sure do. No taxes.
All right.
That's what our kingdom has. I've decided.
I wish. That'd be lovely. But with that said, I will leave you all to it. Thank you very much, and thank you to the chat, and good luck to everybody.
See you, Pat.
Take care, Patrick. Thank you very much.
See you later. Cheers.
Farewell, Pat.
Oh, Mark, I see.
I think I'm gonna
the person is open
head
the
off
door.
as well. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough. Well, maybe we should call the stream here. I was just saying, it looks like the person behind you's like opened the door now. a little bit. It's like they're getting closer and closer behind you.
Yeah,
Definitely
eventually
appears.
they'll reach me. But...
Yeah, if we kept streaming in 3 days, they'd be like right behind you. It's terrifying.
Yeah, thank you for a lovely evening, and it was awesome to watch the release all together. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, congratulations on getting the big old singer.
Yeah, it's finally out there, guys. Thank you guys so much for all coming and hanging out and being part of this too. It was really cool to watch it with you guys as it got released.
Hell yeah.
Super nice.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Alright,
Have a
see you
good one.
guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
I'm just going to share the draw pile as everyone
Do
filters
it.
out. Oh, you were there.
And now, fair chat, you're left with just me and Mike.
Hello.
What will we abuse our power for now?
We really hope you've enjoyed your time here. It has been surreal and cathartic. But here's everyone's drawings.
Tip says India sing. No. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us and hanging out with the whole crew and Danny and Brian too. This video was the huge culminated efforts of a bunch of cool people that we are lucky enough to work with, as well as you guys in chat who helped this thing be made by supporting NSP and supporting the animation team. So thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for being here as well to support and watch it with us. It means a lot to us, and we can't wait to make more cool stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words? Any
Sing,
final
sing, Don,
words,
sing,
Doig?
Doig, sing, says Tim.
Go on, Doig, give us a song.
Let me answer the first one with the final words. I just want to say that I never saw myself being here years ago, and it has been quite a journey to just arrive here. It's been full of hard work and great opportunities, and it really resonated with me when Brian said that take the scary path, because I think there are opportunities in your life that crop up that you aren't sure about and that you can miss because of just being unsure of yourself. So it's just all those things that would not happen if you didn't do that, and I think that is just really great advice. I wanted to say that earlier, but
Yeah, I also wanted to, but it seems like they had to vamoose. But yeah, what incredible advice at the end there, and so true. You know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys in chat will have something that you really want to do, and it's scary to take the leap to do that thing, but you know, you can do it. We're all behind you. Just go for it. Go for it, and if it doesn't work out, as Brian said, it's better to live with failure than it is to live with regret. I think that's really pertinent. And yeah, we felt like we took that leap the first time we made a video with NSP, and it's honestly one of the best decisions we ever made, because we made so many friends through doing it, and we've got to work on so much cool stuff since then.
I think that's a really big part of what makes Night special, is that it is a group of friends making stuff together. Like finding people to work on these projects was just looking around us at everyone who was just striving to make cool stuff. A lot of those on previous Nights projects I want to give a shout out to. I've been in the chat as well, like Noah Tibmar was our lead effects artist on Starlight Brigade. Don't Stop Rewop was lead animator on Starlight Brigade as well. Our friend Verdi there screaming with her emotes. She was recently storyboarding on Jaden Animations, the anime, as well as previous projects. I think the greatest thing about the animation community is just how supportive everyone is, and just feeling really thankful, you guys. Like,
Yeah, it's been a long road working on this video, especially during COVID, but we ding dang did it, guys. and it's out there now, and we couldn't be prouder or happier to have got to work on such a cool thing with everyone. Now sing, Doig. You promised us a song.
I didn't. I just said I would get to the. Oh no! What do you want me to sing?
I don't know.
Oh.
What about? Oh yeah!
I don't know the lyrics.
You don't know the.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna come over there and slap you so hard. Gonna throw you.
Oh man. No,
Throw you straight out that window.
I'm not gonna sing.
Yeah.
I know my new song.
But everybody, yeah, go watch the video again. Give them good boys those good views. And we're gonna head off and
take the scary path.
Yeah, and breathe into a paper bag until we feel calmer again. This has been incredible. Thank you all so much for your support in chat and for the kind words.
Yeah. Should we raid someone or should we quietly fade out into the night?
Let's walk into the sunset hand in hand.
Okay.
As this is a very specific stream.
Well, this is it.
This is it.
The end.
The end of everything. Thanks so much, guys. We love you and we appreciate the support. Have an awesome day. Go for it. Make cool stuff. Have fun with your friends. Have an awesome night or day wherever you are in the world.
And may the rest
of your day
be filled
with adventure.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you.